You say Trump's alleged conduct is indefensible. So many Republicans continue to defend him. What will it say if the party, your longtime party, puts him forward as their nominee?
Well, that's the problem. I don't think they're actually defending his conduct, but they are saying it's unfair to prosecute him. But that then raises another question. Okay, if it's unfair to prosecute him, that's not the whole answer. The question is, should we be putting someone like this forward as the leader of the country, leader of the free world, who's engaged in this kind of conduct?
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And Bill Barr best describes Donald Trump in saying that he is like a 9-year-old, a defiant 9-year-old kid who's always pushing the glass towards the edge of the table. CBS's Face the Nation program with Robert Costa asked former Trump Attorney General about Republicans seemingly still defending Donald Trump's actions in light of his mishandling of classified documents.
This is not just an isolated example. Trump has many good qualities, and he accomplished some good things. But the fact of the matter is, he is a consummate narcissist, and he constantly engages in reckless conduct that puts his political followers at risk and the conservative and Republican agenda at risk.
Would he put the country at risk if he was in the White House again?
He will always put his own interests and gratifying his own ego ahead of everything else, including the country's interests.
Barr questioned Donald Trump's mental health after he was indicted on 37 federal counts. Donald has reportedly been deflated in public about the indictments and suffering from depression, the poor baby. Barr replied by answering the question with a question. He asked if we should be putting someone like Donald Trump forward as the leader of the country, leader of the free world, who's engaged in this kind of conduct.
He's like a defiant 9-year-old kid who's always pushing the glass toward the edge of the table, defying his parents to stop him from doing it. It's a means of self-assertion and exerting his dominance over other people. And he's a very petty individual who will always put his interests ahead of the country's, his personal gratification of his ego. But our country can't be a therapy session for, a troubled man like this.
Barr tried to say that Republicans don't really agree with what Trump did, that Trump did some good things, though. He explained that the GOP are just opposed to him being prosecuted for his crimes. Of course they're opposed to Donald Trump being held accountable because it means that they could be next. No one is supporting Donald Trump out of loyalty. They support him in public and stab him in the back in private. There are numerous Republican strategists that have pointed out the fact that the GOP wishes that he would just go away, but have no plan to deal with him and his base. Barr was surprisingly candid about Trump's character, calling him a narcissist. He said that Donald will always put his own interests and gratifying his own ego ahead of everything else, including the country's interests, and he's absolutely right. Donald Trump is not well. He's a narcissistic bully who's never been held accountable. And accountability is like persecution to him and his supporters. No one is above the law. And with the world watching the Donald Trump soap opera, all eyes will be on our justice system. Clowns like Donald Trump do not get the chance to ruin the country for a second time. Nothing has changed with Donald Trump. He's still the power-hungry psychopath that he's always been. He's not fighting for this country's people. He's in it for himself because he thinks he'll escape prosecution. Donald Trump deserves to be underneath the jail, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.